called Simple Pharma, and we're disrupting the pharma industry. So we've been around for a couple of years now, and we're now selling in 20 different countries, and have established a men's health brand as well. And the team has grown to almost 20 people. So we've recruited a fair few people by now, and I think some of the lessons we've learned during those recruitments have definitely helped us basically answer that question that you put forward in terms of what candidates can do. And what we've done is actually written a set of leadership principles for our company that we've made available publicly via the website. So you'll find that on our blog. And it's not too complicated, some fairly simple, practical things that people should sort of abide by while they're working here. But in the recruitment process, I'd probably distill it down to three key things. I think the first thing is that candidates need to show evidence that they are willing to work hard and that they have worked hard in previous endeavors, whether that's in their studies or past professional experience or things that are happening outside of work and school, really showing some tangible examples of where they've had to go the extra mile, I think is number one. The second thing I think is evidence of problem solving. So many of the things that we're doing in our business require people to come at a problem from a slightly different angle and solve it creatively. It's not, super familiar for everyone. So we want to see evidence that people have actually gone about, those problems in previous endeavors and have found ways to solve them and show tangible examples of how they've done that. And the third thing I'd want to call out is we really look for people who are humble. So we're not looking for people who, are showing off all of their fancy achievements and degrees. I think that's obviously nice if you have them, but ultimately it doesn't mean a lot once you join a new company. And so evidence of being humble and not willing, being able to lower themselves to a task, no matter how small, is really important. So the pharma industry, it's definitely an interesting time. I think it's a big industry, one of the biggest that you can possibly imagine. And there's several different things that you can do in that industry. So it's hard to sort of summarize it in a few sentences. But I think that the pharma world has maybe been brought a little bit more under the spotlight since the pandemic, and the role of pharma companies in our society has become increasingly relevant. And people are focusing on the speed at which we can bring medicines to market. So obviously with the vaccines, that was incredibly important, but it also translates to everyday medicines in terms of how quickly we can get products from manufacturers to the shelves of the pharmacies. And it's not trivial. I mean, when you go into your local pharmacy and get your medicine, it's not trivial how it's got there. So it's been manufactured, it's been normally shipped from abroad, it's gone through lots of quality release processes, and it's been transported under strict temperature conditions, and it has a full sort of chain of events. And so getting it from A to B in a sort of compliant way is super important. It's becoming increasingly important in the face of global supply chain challenges. So in terms of what's exciting about that is that there's plenty of opportunities to leverage technology to be able to reduce the kind of risks that we might face with medicines, and also improve the speed at which we can operate. And I'm not just talking about AI and fancy machine learning models. I'm also talking about technology that allows different teams to interact with each other more effectively, both internally and coordinating sort of third parties and subcontractors, etc. So it's increasingly important to use those technologies to our advantage. And I think that's probably the most exciting thing that's happening within the actual pharma. If you take aside all of the research and development that's happening, and say further downstream, the use of technology to make our healthcare system more efficient is definitely something that's quite exciting over the next few years.